Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. It is time for a nice, relaxing show. Today, we've got a major news story. It's a story that is a part of an ongoing narrative, something that has been going on actually for about a year now. Saudi Arabia, teaming up with a few other companies and investment firms, have bought out Electronic Arts. That's right. That ginormous game publisher that makes all those sports games, Mass Effect, etc. And so the entire internet is abuzz with this discussion this morning. We'll analyze it. We'll talk a little bit about what this means and the future of gaming. But in addition, we'll get all caught up on everything that's going on with me, current playthroughs, scheduling, DSP tries it, and more. We've had a very busy few days since my last podcast. So sit back and relax. It's time for a very fun, chill episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Attention! The games are about to begin. All hail the
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's time for the show. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast for Monday, the 29th of September, 2025. This will be my final podcast of the month. Tomorrow, I'm not going to do one so that we can have another major stream of Hollow Knight Silksong, which we have made major strides in. If you're not following the playthrough, at this point, we're something like 25 plus hours into the game. We're getting actually near the end game. I'm kind of going to all the optional areas that I skipped during the course of the game before we get to this final part where you have to get these 3 songs and play them to enter the end of Act 2. And then apparently there's an Act 3. Wow. I guess there's more areas even after the story ends. So we'll see how long this playthrough goes, but I'll tell you, I'm loving the game. For as much as when I play it, it destroys my hands because I'm getting older. Like yesterday I was playing it and there was this really tough boss where you had to keep platforming and pogoing on things with the down attack in order to fight this boss. And my thumb, I actually showed it on camera, was throbbing red. Now, the good news is it's fine again. It recovered. But yeah, I'm getting older. And it's harder to play tough games, to be honest. It just is. Like games that require a lot of this kind of stamina of the hands and tough timed things. I was actually like, man, I really wish I had a better controller because I'm still using the Xbox Elite 2, which is fine, but it's really good for modern games. I feel like that controller was not really made for a classic platformer where you're going to be having to use the D-pad a ton and timed button presses all the time. So it may be time to get another one. People have been recommending like an 8-bit Do. I guess they're cheaper controllers, but people say they're really good for retro gaming. 8-bit Do, 8-bit Do, however you say it. I don't know. So I'll have to look into it. But anyway, tomorrow, no podcast, so we can play a lot more Silksong. All right. And I'm having a great time for the record. Right now, all the stuff that we're doing is going really well. All the playthroughs have had great progress. We finished Chronos last night, saw the ending, and then the other ending. And I actually got a little bit of kudos for that. I got a few people thanking me for that. When I finished Chronos last night, we saw the first ending. Well, this game has a final ending that is the real ending, but the only way you could see it is if you replay the game from the start, and the game is 20 hours long. Well, guess what? I'm not doing a second 20-hour playthrough, so people actually asked me live, hey, could you just go to YouTube and find someone who did the secret ending to watch it and react to it? So I did, and people were very happy that I did that, because they didn't want to, not see the real ending and see my reaction to it. I've actually gotten requests already to do the same thing when I beat Silent Hill F, because Silent Hill F apparently has 5 different endings, and you can only get the true canon ending by replaying the game again. So I might do that for that one too. Um, so I'm enjoying every game we're playing. I'm happy that today we're playing more Sonic Racing because we only got to play a very little bit of it back on Friday. I feel like I didn't even really scratch the surface of this game yet. I only used like 5 racers, a few vehicles. I didn't even see all the tracks yet. Unlike Mario Kart World, where within 2.5 hours, I beat the entire game. Just to reiterate, we played through every single circuit. We saw every track. We unlocked all that content all in one go. On the hardest difficulty, for the record, too. At least with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, there is a level of challenge and fun that's way higher than Mario Kart had. So I'm excited to jump into that today. We are going to do offline gameplay because I want to get into the game, learn the controls and mechanics before we go online. And eventually I will try it online, just for the record. But, we got to see everything there is that the game has to offer and try to do unlocks before we go online. So that's a great playthrough right now. I'm looking forward to more. Silk Song's amazing. Finished Chronos. Silent Hill F will continue on night streams. We got American Truck Sim tonight. The only thing we really got to figure out this week is what's next, because we have so many options. So option number 1, Hades 2, which actually came out a few days ago, full release. And people have said, well, I play it. And I'm like, well, I would like to. But when I played it last year, you guys said that I should wait for the full release. Well, it's out. Should I play it now? What about Ghost of Yote that comes out this Thursday? What about Super Mario Galaxy 2 that comes out this Thursday? We got all these options, or all these things that we're like considering. I'm not sure what the proper, real good option is here. We have to talk about it over the next few days to determine, because as early as Wednesday night, we have a free night to do whatever. And I was debating maybe trying Hades 2 that night and seeing if it worked or not. I absolutely love Hades. I played the first one, thought it was an amazing game, started playing Hades 2, loved it. So I guess we got to figure this out. All right. But I'm just loving every game that we're doing. All these playthroughs are great and having a great time. And I hope that you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. Good stuff all around. We had a great marathon the other day of the worst games ever, even though they weren't all bad. They were actually, it was an entertaining marathon. We had a good time. We chilled. So thanks for that. We're heading into an amazing month. October is going to have a ridiculous amount of new releases to play and juggle. I'm obviously excited for it. FYI, the ability to nominate games for the Halloween Marathon is live. If you didn't attend the marathon the other day, that's when I launched this. So you can access this by typing !Halloween into either chat room right now. Or if you're watching this on demand, just go to the posts tab of DSPGaming on YouTube. And right there, you'll see, back from a couple days ago, the thread where you can post up games for the Halloween event. All you got to do is nominate a game. That's it. Just give the name of the game. And then people will vote if they want to see it as well. And what we're going to do is, in a few weeks, tally up these nominations and upvotes to see what is the most nominated, upvoted stuff. And we're going to determine what games will be played during the Halloween event. Over the course of October, I will find a nice Halloween costume that I'll be wearing during this event as well. It's going to be a very exciting poll. Marathon. We do it every year annually, and it always does well. So I hope that you'll come by for Halloween for that. It's going to be great. Awesome stuff, right? Also, DSP tries it, just so everyone knows what it is coming up. Because if you can believe it, we're already at 6 out of 10 goals hit. Yeah, I know. Doesn't feel like it, but we are. That's how much support I've been getting recently, and I really appreciate that. So in 4 short goals, we are doing DSP Tries It, the return to Indian cuisine. I have not actually had Indian cuisine in any content like this in over 3 years, okay? Previously, I've had some curries. I've had biryani rice, stuff like that. This time around, I will see what else they have and get some stuff. I don't know what I want to get. I actually don't know. I'll have to look at the menu or whatever I'm going to order and maybe get a few unique different things. But I don't know. Should I get lamb? Should I get goat? They actually have goat at Indian restaurants usually. Or should I just get something vegetarian because they have really great vegetarian stuff there too. Curries, samosas, all kinds of stuff. So that's going to be fun. Something different, not fast food, thankfully. I need a break from fast food after the last couple. Remember, the Taco Bell one was atrocious. The Popeyes one was completely wrong. I need a break. Okay? So It should be pretty fun. And that's coming this week, obviously. 4 more goals to hit. And I'm still here 5 more days. That's right. Monday through Friday, I am here. Saturday is my next day off. So we're definitely going to hit it during the course of this week. It's just a matter of when. It could be any day. Literally right now, if I receive 4 goals, $600 of support, we will do DSP Tries It Indian Food on this stream. We can do it whenever you want. So the sooner the better. Please start supporting. Let's get some support rolling in. I'll start shouting it out. We'll start counting down, and we'll get some Indian food in this gullet as soon as possible. Let's go. By the way, how's everyone this morning? Let's say hello. What's going on to everyone? Who do we got? Chris, good morning. Mojave Wanderer, what is up? You're not funny. What's up? Girls Hat, Copium, Original Grant. How y'all doing? Over on Kick, who do we got? RGB King. Let's see here. Space Wacko. Monkey but not a man. That's a weird name. Most Tasteless is here. Space goes coast to coast. How you doing? Let's go. What's up, game dude? How are you? Big boss, how are you? I'm sorry. How are you? Hey, I'm sorry. Are you almost able to talk over on Kick? It's 24 hours, right? But I don't know when you made the account yesterday. It's exactly right. Original Grant says, hey, just 60,000 kicks till the next goal. That's right. Anyone over on Kick, if anyone just wants to drop a small contribution of 60,000 kicks right now, we'll do DSP Tries this very stream. That's all we need, 60,000. So let's get it going. Let's go. Oh, so for the record also, thankfully, today it is cloudy and wet outside. The temperature is only in the 60s Fahrenheit. And because of this, it is 81 degrees in my office. That's not bad. Typically on a normal day, even with the air conditioner on, I'd have it set to around 75. So 81, it's not that bad. I got my fans blowing, so it's actually pretty nice in here today. And it's supposed to be like this for most of the week. I think it's going to get a little bit warmer on Friday again, but it should be several days of cool weather. Autumn is here. The best streaming season of the year. The best gaming season of the year, really. Like, this is just the best time of the year for us because we get nice, cool weather, and that's the time to game. So I resumed my workouts last night. I had them on pause for a little under a week because my right arm had been killing me. Like I said, I had hurt my right arm, probably hyperextension. I don't think it was from working out. I think it was from I went to the garbage dump and had a ton of problems with pain and everything. I couldn't actually have my arm go all the way in or out, and it was just painful. It's still painful, but I was like, dude, how long am I going to go not working out? I have to get back into it. So last night I basically did legs, shoulders, back, and traps. Yeah. Yep. That's what I did. So I did have to lift weights, but I wasn't like actually like straining any of the arm muscle here or anything. And it was fine. It actually felt a little better. Actually, I did. After I did, I was like, oh, that's good. So now tonight I alternate. I go back to my arms and chest and sit-ups. I gotta do a lot of sit-ups tonight. I haven't done them now for a while. Anyway, so good stuff. Good stuff. I'm getting back into it. Everyone's a buzz about it. I don't know why. It's not a big deal. I mean, basically because I've been an unhealthy guy on stream for a long time, and now I'm finally starting to get healthy. People freak out. You know, again, it's what's the weird thing that we know about Phil now that really doesn't affect anything, but we have to hyperfixate on it. Oh, he's working out now. Okay, well, go ahead. Big Boss did a $2 super chat. What are some of your favorite Pumping Iron music tracks? I'm not listening to a set soundtrack. Like I said, I listen to various different like internet radio stations on YouTube. And so I listen to a lot of like classic gaming music and stuff like that. And I just let it play while I'm working out. So nothing crazy. No, I don't have like a set soundtrack of artists that I listen to or anything like that. Thanks for the first contribution of the day. I got to remember to not put dollar signs. This font, Sonic the Hedgehog font, looks great. But if there's a dollar sign, it says Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know why. Very weird. Do I have a home gym? Hold on. Do I have a home gym or do I go to the gym? No, I have not necessarily a home gym. I have a weight bench and I have free weight dumbbells, adjustable weight dumbbells. That's what I'm using right now. And it's a good start. The problem is I just don't have a ton of space. What I want to do is eventually clear out some of the stuff in the house to make an actual dedicated like room or space to do it. Right now, it's kind of like half shared with storage and shit. So I can do it, but I can't do everything. It's like I was telling you guys, I can't even do this exercise like this. I can't. There's no room. I can't even do that. What is this called when you do this exercise for your chest? Is it the flies or something like that? I can't even do it. I don't have space. I hit the wall. So I need to clear out my house a little bit more. That'll be a while, but I have enough room to do the basic stuff I want to do. So there you go. Thank you to I'm Sorry Guys, who just gifted a sub. I received an anonymous $1 tip. No message attached to that one at all. If you were the person who did that tip and you were like, oh crap, I wanted to do a message, I did it wrong. So when you send a tip, in the body of that tip message, when you're sending it, there's like a paragraph area you could type. Put your name if you'd like to be addressed by any name. I don't know if it's your real name or not. Just say what you want to be called and put your message in there and I'll respond to it. Okay? So I did receive a $1 tip. All right, thanks for the early support. As more support comes in, I will shout it out. Please, let's get some momentum going. We absolutely got to crush the goal today. Why? Last night, if you can believe it, for the conclusion of Chronos, we missed the goal. Not by a lot. We missed it by like $30. It's like, why did we miss it? It's frustrating because, you want to be consistent. You want to be hitting a goal all the time so we could do DSP tries it and get ideas going and stuff. And we miss it by a little. It's like it's not the end of the world to miss the goal by so little, but it just sucks that we did when we were right there and we could have hit another one. So today we absolutely must hit this goal on this stream. Let's hit the goal, all right, and get that momentum flowing towards DSP tries it. Fair enough? And by the way, for the record, tonight's late stream is the return of American Truck Simulator. I'm very excited for that. It's always a chill time where we hang out and have fun. I actually have some new alcoholic ciders, hard ciders to drink tonight, various different flavors. So that should be fun, okay? Cool. All right. So, folks, I got a hypothetical for you. All right, you ready for this? I want everyone to just clear your mind for a sec, all right? And then I want you to imagine a certain scenario, all right? So, you're living in an apartment, okay? And you've lived there for a while. You like the apartment. All your stuff is there, right? Your family's settled in. You really like your living situation. One day you get a knock on your door, okay? You open your door, and standing on your front doorstep, there's someone from your government. Says, right, they got the badge, they got the certification. It's a government agent. And the government agent says, I'm sorry, sir or madam. I have some bad news for you. The government has decided that we want you to move because we're going to knock down where you live. We're going to actually build a building here. We don't want it to be residential anymore. We actually want this to become government use. So you're out. Here's money for first month's rent of your next place. Get the hell out. And you're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? I love this apartment. I have a lease agreement. I don't know. Get out right now. We're the government. We tell you what to do. We gave you your first month's rent. Get the hell out and go get another place right now. But what about the cost of moving? What about displacing my family? What about the fact that I live near my job? We don't care. Go now or go to jail. So you actually have to move. So you you grab all your stuff. Your family starts packing. You're getting all this stuff ready. All right, for this move, because you're being forced out of your place, and you're frustrated. You're very upset. Like, this sucks. You go online, and you decide to vent. You go on to X, you go on to Blue Sky, or you make a video on TikTok, and you say, man, this really sucks. The government's kicking me out of my place. I don't know who they think they are. How dare they? I think that things should be different. I actually think that things would be better if the government was completely different and the people who were in charge weren't in charge. So now you're packing up. You're about ready to move. You hear a knock at your door. You open the door. It's the police. Sorry, sir, is this you? And they play the video that you just posted on TikTok. They show you the post that you made on social media criticizing the government for doing what they're doing to you. And you say, yeah, that's obviously me. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of mad because you're throwing me out of my place, but, I just wanted to get my emotions out there. Okay, sir, you're under arrest. Come with us. Wait, what? You're under arrest. Put the cuffs on, grab you, throw you in a car, drive you down to jail, throw you in a cell. What the hell just happened? I'm under arrest? So now you're sitting and rotting in a jail cell for 2 weeks. No one talks to you. You're not able to talk to your family. You're not able to talk to your friends. You got no connection with the outside world. You're literally just sitting there rotting in a jail cell like you committed mass murder. All of a sudden, you get told, all right, it's time for your trial. My trial? My what? So now they march you into a room and there's a panel of people you've never seen before sitting there, and they start reading out the things that you said on social media. Says here you think that the government shouldn't be in power. Really? That's interesting. So, were you planning to overthrow the government? How many more people are involved in this with you? You know, we just don't feel like this is a safe situation because you're a terrorist. What? Well, we'd like to just let you know you're now going to live in prison for the rest of your life. And that's the end of your story. So I just want you to think about that whole thing, that situation that I just told you. All right. Now, that sounds like fantasy, doesn't it? Especially for any of us who live like in the United States or the UK or Canada or, any of these countries where you have basic rights. You have the reasoning. You know what I'm saying? Of having oh, I have the right to freedom. I have the right to, stand by trial by jury, innocent until proven guilty. I have the right to own land. I have the right to have an agreement, a legal agreement where I can be protected and not get thrown out of where I live. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the situation I just described to you is literally how it is for some people in Saudi Arabia. That's what it's like to live in other parts of the world that isn't considered the Western world. You understand? I didn't exaggerate. I actually gave you a real life situation that can happen if you live over there. Okay? What we don't realize is that we live in one of the most free, how can I say, human rights rich parts of civilization. We really do. When you see these people who go on social media day in, day out, and they whine and complain about things. Oh, I was told at work today I have to start wearing a uniform to go to work. Oh, that's it. Strike. We're not going to work. We have to wear uniforms to work. Oh, no. Did you hear that they're raising the prices of something? Did you hear that they're not going to do this minute little thing anymore? Right? All these things that you see people whining about constantly on the internet. You have to look at those situations and you have to say, so basically, you don't have any kind of actual stress, any kind of adversity in your life. So you seek out and find the most stupid little shit to complain about. How about instead of whining about your personal little situation, which is so infinitesimally just not fucking important in the scheme of things, how about you look about how things are on the other side of the planet? People who live in China, people who live in Russia, people who live in Saudi Arabia, Middle East. Why don't you look at how they have to live? And then all of a sudden, your tiny little problems won't really matter anymore in the big scheme of things. Okay? So you might say, why on earth is Phil talking about this morning? What in the holy hell is this? Is this DS politics again? No, it's not. This is very much the Level 1 podcast. And the reason that I'm bringing this up today is because there has been a huge deal that just happened in the realm of video games. EA, Electronic Arts. This is a publisher that has been around forever. I remember back in the day, you could buy games that Electronic Arts made on the NES, the Super NES, the Sega Genesis, sports games like the Madden franchise. They used to have FIFA, but now I guess it's like some other thing because they lost the licensing. Huge sports titles. But also, there's so many different game companies under the umbrella of EA, notably BioWare, that makes Mass Effect and is currently working on making a new Mass Effect and stuff like that. EA has actually been bought out, okay? One major company and or the biggest stakeholder in this deal is Saudi Arabia. $55 billion buyout. Yes, EA will no longer be a public company that is held by stockholders and traded on the stock market. It will now be privately owned. It's a couple investment firms involved, and notably the biggest one with the biggest stake is a Saudi Arabian investment firm. Now, if you've been following news recently, you may have heard some other things that Saudi Arabia has been involved in, okay? Notably, the WWE just made a huge announcement that a future WrestleMania will take place in Saudi Arabia. That's unprecedented. Yes, WWE has had other events before in Saudi Arabia. For example, they had the Greatest Royal Rumble and things like that, but never have they actually had one of their giant flagship pay-per-view events there. Now, when they've done these events in Saudi Arabia before, they had to completely change everything. The women literally had to wrestle in body suits because in Saudi Arabia, it's illegal for women to actually have their skin exposed in public to a certain extent. So when the wrestlers went to wrestle, they actually had to look like Power Rangers in the ring. I'm not exaggerating or kidding. This is absolutely positively true. Okay? Another thing that just happened that you may not have gotten wind of, Evo. You know, Evo Fighting Game Championships, the tournament series that was known as the big one, the biggest in the world, the one that everyone who wanted to compete competitively in fighting games in would go to. That was known as like the world finals, the big event, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the World Cup of fighting games. It just got bought out by Saudi Arabia completely. They own the whole thing. So you might be saying, what is going on? Why is Saudi Arabia buying out all of this kind of pop culture stuff? WWE fighting games, now a major video game company. What are they doing? It's very simple. Saudi Arabia is in the midst of trying to rejuvenate their image on the world stage. What does that mean? Well, Saudi Arabia is insanely rich. If you're not aware, Saudi Arabia is likely the highest concentration of wealth on the planet. Now, it can't be proven, and the reason it can't be proven is because Saudi Arabia doesn't actually want anyone to know how much money they have. Did you ever go to those like Forbes most rich people on the planet lists, and they always say, oh, it's Elon Musk is number one? Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk is not the richest person on earth. Not even close. Because when they list those lists, they don't actually show the richest people. They show the richest people who are public, who allow their wealth to be shown to the world. But the Saudi Arabian oil barons, the giant influential European families that have been around for like hundreds and hundreds of years, they're never listed. These are actually the most powerful, richest, most influential people on the planet, and you will never know it because they don't want anyone talking about it. And if anyone were to talk about it, like let's say, for example, let's say Forbes actually listed this oil baron as the richest dude on the planet, all of a sudden, mysteriously, Forbes would say, oh, half our sponsors just got pulled. What? Yeah, oh, we have no more sponsors, no more advertisements. We just lost all our funding, so we're going out of business. That's how powerful these people are, okay? And even in truth, this is the truth about it, even a lot of people right now who are content creators, big ones who are getting the deals, the sponsorships, the partnerships, the big money, right? If they were to talk like I'm talking right now, they would get a phone call from their talent agency or agent, be like, just so you know, you just got dropped by everything. Yeah, you're on your own now. It's the truth. That's how crazy our world is, but no one really talks about it. Everyone's, we just let, So when you hear about this stuff, you're like, what the hell? So the reason Saudi Arabia is doing this is because they are trying to rejuvenate their image on the world stage. Right now, you don't hear about Saudi Arabia much at all. And if you do, you just think it's those guys who have all the oil, right? So what they want to do is now they want to be known as pop culture icons and gurus. They want to have athletes under their wing doing events for them. They want to be the ones to organize a competitive event for video games so that kids and young people are into it. And, oh, wow, Saudi Arabia, wow, they're really hip. They got their finger on the pulse of what's cool, right? In reality, Saudi Arabia just wants to get involved in everything. They want to have control. They have control of the world economy because of oil. And as long as oil is still a natural resource that we all depend upon for fuel, we're always going to have to kind of bend the knee to them. Because at any moment, we're just not going to sell oil to you anymore. So what do we do now? Now I can't drive my car? Now I can't heat my house? And the answer is no. They actually have that level of control. Okay? So now they're now trying to venture out into other things. Let's get our hooks into other things, right? Now, here's the thing. The situation I just described, getting thrown out of your house and being told you got to live somewhere else, and then you're upset with that situation, so you complain about it on social media and you go to jail for it for the rest of your life. That has happened in Saudi Arabia. It is documented. This is not, I made up a hypothetical that's kind of ridiculous and outlandish. That happens in Saudi Arabia. Okay? So if you live there at any moment, you've got to be very worried about anything that you say and do. That's just how their government is. Okay? So the crazy part about all of it is, you might say, well, wait a minute. If Saudi Arabia actually has such horrendous human rights that anyone could just be upended, thrown out of their home, the government can do whatever they want, people are executed. Yes, I'm not kidding. Executed for literally speaking out against the government. Imagine that. Imagine you made a mean tweet about former President Joe Biden or current President Donald Trump, and someone came to your house, arrested you, and then you were publicly executed for it. That's happened in Saudi Arabia. All right? Why on earth would any of these companies want to do business with Saudi Arabia? Why would WWE want to have several events and now WrestleMania, their biggest event of the year, why would they want to hold this in Saudi Arabia? Why would EVO, the World Championship Series that was always known as everyone is welcome, anyone can participate, absolutely no limitations, come on and show your game, just prove that you're good. Why would they get bought out by Saudi Arabia or sell out to Saudi Arabia? Why would EA, a company that, I'm not kidding, has recently been known for liberal policies? Take a look at Dragon Age Veilguard, where there was an actual plot line about a trans character, someone misgendering them, and then having to self-discipline and punish themselves for getting the gender wrong. Okay? This is not a joke. That was actually in the game. It was a big controversial thing, right? And that's published by EA. Why would EA be getting bought out by a company where in that native country of Saudi Arabia, LGBT is a crime? You hear what I said, right? Yes, in Saudi Arabia, you're not allowed to be LGBT. It's illegal. You go to jail if you get found out. So, what's the answer here to all this? Why are all these companies getting involved with Saudi Arabia? Well, folks, there is an answer, and the answer is very simple. Now, no, I didn't just hit a goal, but the answer is money. These companies are all receiving absolutely insane amounts of money, over the value of what you would even receive. $55 billion to purchase Electronic Arts. That's $5 billion more than the estimate that they gave of what the company should be valued at. They paid them a premium to purchase the company. Okay? I can just imagine the amount of money that a company like WWE is receiving. All right? And again, you might say, well, I don't get it. Saudi Arabia is overpaying. Why? Because they know that in the eyes of the world, they are morally wrong. The world does not like how they do things in their country in regards to human rights. So they know the only thing they can do is to pay their way out of it. And people are greedy and weak enough to say, I'll turn a blind eye to all this shit so I can get rich. It's that simple. Okay? So in this story today, that EA is getting bought out by Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of conflicting views and things. Some people are saying things like, well, this is awful. Now, what about game franchises like The Sims? So The Sims is owned by EA. The Sims has always been a franchise where you can kind of do whatever you want. And so it actually has been a franchise and a game IP that has been very, very friendly with the LGBT community. You can be gay in the game. You can be trans in the game. You can have crazy stuff in the game, and people will simulate these situations in the game. There's a whole community around it. People on social media who post up and talk about this kind of stuff, right? Well, now they're owned by EA. So does that mean moving forward? Excuse me. Now they're owned by Saudi Arabia. Does that mean moving forward, all those options will be removed from the games, or they just will never be put into the games moving forward? Evo, we just talked about it. Evo, the huge fighting game championships, right? Always known as anyone can enter, everyone is safe, safe space. You got champions like Sonic Fox, who infamously over the years has been the best Mortal Kombat player. He always seems to win the Mortal Kombat tournaments, but he's gay and he's a furry. And he's very, very straightforward and in your face about it. It's like his thing is that he likes to wear the fursuit to the tournament and he yells out that he's gay and he's anti-Trump and stuff like that. So how's that going to go down with the Saudis? Who actually, it's illegal to do that stuff in their country. So that's the deal right now. And that's why there's such controversy all over the internet about what's going on with Saudi Arabia. And notably, this morning, the news about Saudi Arabia being the primary buyer of EA. So to further extrapolate upon my point about the money, it was announced that each shareholder of EA stock, for each share that they hold, will now receive a $210 payout. So let's say you were someone who had faith in EA and you liked their stock and you had bought, 1,000 shares. You just made $21,000. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's what it's about. Money. That's what it's always been about. All these deals, all these behind the scenes things. Because I don't understand. What if Saudi Arabia has such horrible human rights, why would anyone even buy oil from them? Well, we all do. Literally right now, you're driving a car, it probably has oil from Saudi Arabia in it. You know that, right? So if you're anti-Saudi Arabia, oh my God, I can't believe what I hear they're doing with human rights over there. Why are you driving your car with the gas in it from Saudi Arabia? And this is also what I like too, is because when we talk about situations like this, you hear these activists, and these activists always say stupid shit, right? Oh, I made a life choice. I'm not going to eat meat because it's morally wrong. Oh, by the way, I drive my car that has gas from Saudi Arabia where they're executing people. But that's okay as long as I'm not eating meat. I'm a vegan. I love that shit. I really do. Okay? So anyway, the truth is we don't know what's going to happen. Will EA actually completely change? Will Evo actually completely change? WWE, I don't think anyone really cares, to be honest. It's just that people have always seen WWE as kind of a hobby or a pop culture thing that the common man could follow. If WWE is going to start selling out to places like Saudi Arabia and now all their events are going to be over there, how would anyone ever go to a show? How would anyone afford any of it, right? I mean, we were just talking about recently, WWE, my God, it's so complicated to even watch any of their shit anymore. Every pay-per-views are on this on-demand service. TV shows are on this on-demand service. This is over here. This is over here. What the fuck is going on? Used to be just watch it on TV. Now you can't even do that anymore. I mean, hell, the best way to watch WWE, you have to get a VPN to switch regions so you can all watch it on one on-demand service. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like for me, the way I see it is, man, it's just it's rampant and it's going to keep getting worse. There's nothing you can do about it if you want to live in modern society, quite frankly. We don't make these decisions. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? Well, let's see. I don't stand for the human rights violations of Saudi Arabia, so I can't drive anything that uses gas. Well, I also don't like how the communism is in China, so I can't use any products from China. Oops, there's 90% of products you can buy in stores you can't buy anymore because it's made in China, right? So I guess what I'm going to do, I've decided I'm going to move out and I'm going to live in a cave out in the woods. I'm going to be a hermit. Okay? No one bother me. I'm just going to live with the animals. Everyone just shut up and leave me alone. Okay? So anyway, um, in a lot of ways too, I think that a lot of this is over exaggeration. Just because Saudi Arabia now has a huge investment stake in Electronic Arts, does that necessarily mean the Saudis are going to swoop in next week to BioWare and be like, show us the progress of Mass Effect because we just want to be sure that it's in line with our morals now. Let's go. Show us the work now. And if it's not, we're going to now, you're the puppets on our strings, and we're going to be sure that this game is in line with everything that we like in Saudi Arabia. And if not, you're all fired. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen either, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. I think people tend to jump to crazy ass conclusions and weird situations, the most extreme shit you could think of. That's what comes to their mind first, right? So immediately what they're going to do is they're going to uplift all the EA-owned studios, ship them off to Saudi Arabia. So they all have to they're all going to work in Saudi Arabia from now on and have to live by that law, right? No, that's not going to happen, right? But at the same time, you guys are right. You know what I'm saying? You guys are right if you're freaking out and saying there may be changes. All right? But what else can we say, right? That's life. Sometimes you got to realize that you can't always be the social justice warrior. When they said the SJW stuff from years ago was always hilarious. I'm a social justice warrior. Oh, by the way, but everything I own in my house is from China. And you don't really know what social justice is, honestly. If they, real social justice warriors, you really got to cut back on a lot of shit that you're doing if you really want to stand your ground to morals and values and shit like that. I really don't think that people should be doing this stuff. And it's funny because, well, neither do you feel. When did I say that I have morals and values where I'm not going to buy stuff from China? Like, I'm not. Do you see me on social media standing up and complaining about this shit? No. No. You see, like I said, in reality, is it a good thing to stand up for the rights of others? Yes, it is. I agree it is. In the way that you can, in the lifestyle that you live or whatever, if you can stand up for and help others, go for it, right? But you got to pick your battles and you got to be realistic. The truth is, if you sit on social media all day and you just whine and complain about little minute things, then the problem is you just don't have adversity in your life. And you don't realize how bad it is in other parts of the fucking world where people don't have the ability to just sit and whine on social media all day. You grew up in a generation where you lived eternally online. You never even lived in an offline society to see how life was before you literally thought you were the most special snowflake on the planet and everyone should listen to you bitch 24/7. In reality, no one cares. Maybe you think they do because that's what society has taught you with this always plugged in online mentality. But in reality, you're one of a zillion. No one cares about your little opinion. Sorry, that's just the truth. If you don't believe it, or you don't, see that as reality, you probably have been brainwashed. And that's sad. But that's the truth about society is there's just so many people out there. It's very rare when you get someone who has some kind of influence or someone's going to care about what they say or do. But everyone thinks that now because they're all plugged into the internet eternally. Oh, well, I'm the one I post up every little moment of my life on TikTok and on fucking Blue Sky and on this and that. No one cares. No one. Anyway, so what will happen with EA? I don't know. We'll follow the story. It'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Will actually all these things under EA's umbrella change? Will anything change? Maybe it'll be an insignificant change. Maybe the Saudis just want another piece of the pie to control, right? And they just want to diversify even further. And they see this as a way that now you could say, oh, we'll get some good street cred with the world because, look, we're into the video games. Don't know. We'll have to see what happens in the long term. But I do find that these hilarious people who freak out about stuff on the internet are just, it's such comedy, right? The same person who complained last week that someone spelled their name wrong on their Starbucks cup. They couldn't stand it. Oh my God, they were off. Well, what's your name? It's not even fucking normal. It's like Shaka Duga Duga. Well, how the fuck are you supposed to spell your name, you idiot? If your name was Joe and they spelled it wrong, then I would understand. If the most stupid name possible and you're complaining they couldn't spell it on your coffee cup and you're angry, that's what you're worried about. Anyway. All right. Anyway, I think we can now sit back and relax. We talked about the news for today. That's the only real gaming news for today. There'll be a lot more stuff soon as all these new games start to release. I'm really interested to see what the hell's going to happen with Ghost of Yote. I really am. That's like the hot story this week. Is Ghost of Yote actually going to be good or not? If it's good, will people play it, or will people just be so engulfed in this political discourse around it? Will they skip? I still don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea what to do with this game. I loved Ghost of Tsushima, but then when I played the DLC a year later, no one liked it. So if this game is more of the same, would anyone like it in 2025? Another 4 years later? I don't know. I just don't know. I got to think about it, and we all got to talk about it over this week to determine what I'm going to do. Okay? All right. All right, well, a couple small contributions came in. Let's shout those out, and let's see what you guys want to talk about today. Beaver Bother did a $1.50 tip. Thanks, Beaver Bother. And for the record, in regards to Ghost of Tsushima, okay, it's totally your prerogative if you play it or not. You just got to understand that my situation is unique to yours. Your situation is probably, do I just play the game and enjoy it for myself, right? My situation is, I have to make entertaining content out of this game that people will watch, okay? Look at what happened earlier this year with South of Midnight, okay? I knew nothing about any political discourse around the game at all. All I wanted to do was play it at face value. I did one stream of it that I enjoyed. I said, man, the game kind of feels like a throwback to like Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter in its gameplay style, and its visuals are unique and has a great soundtrack. First stream was fun. I liked it. Everyone yelled, why are you playing this woke game? Why are you playing this? What's your problem? We're not going to come back and support it. Change the game right now. Stop playing it. It was a nightmare. It was like I was getting yelled at literally for just booting the game like I was some kind of crazy leftist liberal, which I'm not. I'm also not a crazy right-wing conservative. I don't know why I get roped into this shit because I'm not either way. So to get yelled at and be told, oh, you're wasting our time. Why are you doing this content? We're not going to support it. And they didn't. No one supported it. It ended up being a dud of a stream. So I never played it again. So for my situation is I have to play a game that people are going to show up, engage, and support with, right? I'm not playing a game for me. Maybe I could play Ghost of Yote one day for myself if I really want to see, but I'm supposed to be making the content for the audience. If the audience doesn't want the content and won't show up for it, then I can't play it. That makes sense, right? This isn't my private stream for me. This is for you. So that's the feedback I need. If I play Ghost of Yote, are people going to show up, engage, and support this game? It's 40 hours minimum to beat the story. So this is a game that was going to take a long time. It's going to take out a lot of streams. Is it worth it? Or do we just say, screw all this? Danzak did a $5 super chat. He says, I research political discourse before I decide to buy a game. See, I don't. I just try to play a game and enjoy it. That's how I grew up. You know what I mean? Like before I played Super Mario Brothers 3, I didn't research to see what Nintendo gives money to. You see what I mean? I didn't do that. I just said, oh, look, it's a game. It looks good. I'm going to buy it and play it. And then I enjoyed it. And, I don't know, maybe ignorance is bliss or whatever. But, they talk about separating the art from the artist or whatever. And in the case of video games, I don't know why it's becoming so much more and more political. Now, to be honest, listen, in some ways, it's the game devs' faults and the game publishers' faults because they have been trying to shove political agendas down our throats, right? Did we need to have an actual plot line in Dragon Age Veilguard about the trans character being misgendered and now we all have to shame ourselves for doing it? Probably not. Perhaps that was a bad idea because what happens is cultural shifts and trends change and now culture has turned against the leftist stuff, so now no one wants it. So maybe if Veilguard came out in 2020, it would have been a bestseller game of the year. Instead, it was a 2024 massive sales flop and underperforming dunce of a game, right? So that's what I mean. In a lot of ways, it is the game developers / publishers who've been forcing this agenda down our throats to begin with, and that's what's caused the discourse to happen. If they weren't putting that into the games, then people wouldn't be looking for politics in games to begin with. But we are where we are. There's not much that we can really do about it at this point, right? So by the way, today's lighting scheme obviously is supposed to be like Sonic the Hedgehog, like yellow and blue, which are the colors you associate with like Sonic. I set it up myself, meaning I actually manually did this. Previously, I was using a third-party lighting program that had predetermined scenes, and I would just change the colors. I actually programmed this myself, um, but I haven't really learned how to do certain things yet. I'm actually gonna try to start using AI. Like, there's AI you can use to make scenes, so I'm gonna say, "Hey, make a spooky Halloween horror scene," and I'm gonna see what it generates for us and put it up behind us. I'm gonna do that kind of stuff over the month of October. So that should be pretty fun, to see how it goes. So anyway, all right. So now we have extra time, guys. Let's do it. Let's open up chat to whatever you guys want to talk about. Tag me in the chat. I'm actually going to type in the kick chat so you guys can easily tag me. All right. And let's see what's on everyone's mind, whether it's what we just talked about or something else entirely. And guys, let's get some support rolling. Right now we're at like $10. Okay. Please, let's get some support moving. Let's get a tip bigger than $2. Let's get a super chat bigger than 5. Let's get another sub. We only have one today. How about our first membership of the day? And how about some kick? I don't think we had any kicks this morning at all. How about we get some kicks over on Kick? Let's go. Let's get that momentum rolling and flowing so we can hit that goal today because we didn't hit it last night. Okay? Do I know Rex Viper? Well, I know that Rex Viper is the video game cover band, if you can even call it that, from the Angry Video Game Nerd. I've never heard it. I've never, ever heard any of the music. Everyone who's a fan of AVGN apparently hates this music and says that it's really lame that he does this, but I guess it's kind of like his side hobby he likes to do, I guess. But I don't know. I can't comment on it. I've never heard it at all. I don't know. Why are you asking me that? Why are you asking me about Rex Viper randomly? I know what Baby Steps is. Yes, I have seen that. But I have not played it. It's the game where it's the giant human and he walks like a baby bumbling around learning his first steps, right? The Tragers or Loser says, this is what usually happens. A company will create a successful IP, but then woke somehow takes over. They suffer major losses, and then Chinese or Saudi money comes and rejects woke and takes over the company. Danzak did a $5 super chat. He says, do you remember when Boogie used to do actual game news? No, I never watched Boogie ever. Like, I literally never watched his content ever. The first time I ever saw his content was when we were doing the React show. And you guys submitted some of his earlier videos where he was playing that character Francis or whatever. And so we watched 1 or 2 of those videos together, and that's it. I've never seen any other Boogie content ever. And that includes like Lol Cow Live and all that. I've never watched any of it. So I know nothing about the kind of content he used to do. Thank you, Danzak, for the super chat. I should use an acceleration car in Sonic. Okay. Because I used speed, I used power, and I used handling. So yeah, I want to try all the kinds of cars and see the difference between them. Yeah, I heard there's apparently a new Parasite Eve inspired game. It's called like Parasite something else. And it's people who try to make like a new Parasite Eve, but of course they don't actually work for Capcom. It's its own thing. It's kind of interesting. I wonder how that'll turn out. What is the current temperature in the studio? 81 degrees. It's sitting at 81, which is good. Hopefully it doesn't get much warmer than that. Like I said, there's no sun today. It's cloudy outside and very wet. So hopefully the temperature will hold. It'll be comfortable in here. Am I going to get the Pokemon Legends ZA DLC? I don't know if I'm going to get the DLC. I'm going to buy the base game because I want to have a game to play on my Switch too. Dude, all I got to say is this. My God. I'm just going to say this as damn straight as I can. Pokemon ZA Legends better perform well on the Switch too. And when I say perform, I mean graphically. Because Pokemon, what was it? Scarlet and Violet was a console exclusive to the Switch One, and it ran like fucking shit. That is pathetic that they would put out a console exclusive that ran that poorly. It was a joke. Do you remember the character models would like turn into like skipping frames and low frame rate teleporting and no detail on anything? It looked like ass. Frame rate would chop up constantly in the middle of action sequences and stuff. Like, what the hell is going on? This one better run well. The start of my week is going great. I mean, you say the start. I've been here 3 days already. This is day 4 out of an 8-day work week for me. So, but it's been good. I've enjoyed the first few days of my week here. I received a tip The tip is $10 from You're Not Funny. Let's first of all play the animation. Let's get You're Not Funny up on the leaderboard. By the way, October 1st, I should have all the Halloween stuff in place, meaning new animations, new sound effects, Halloween vibes all around. Okay? We're now at 31 of support. He says, what do you think about Jimmy Kimmel's Who cancellation saga? I think he meant to say whole. Personally, censoring him because he was inconvenient to the conversation was morally wrong. America is a free country and made up of mostly poor people who value their shit posting the most out of anything. I'm not, I'm not 100% on the situation. Like, I know what happened was, I guess, he made a joke about either Trump supporters or something in regards to the Charlie Kirk assassination. He said something. I don't know exactly what it is he said. Apparently, people got really upset that he said it, so they took him off the air for a few days. But then I guess they had internal conversations with him, and then they put him back on the air. But I haven't heard about anything about since he's been back on the air, if he's what he said or anything. I just don't know. I'm not really educated on the situation, so I can't really answer that much. But I get my question is, okay. So, okay, let me put it this way. What's the word I want to say? Like, free speech, everyone has free speech. We do. In America, we do. We all have free speech. Okay? However, it has to go equally both ways. It shouldn't be that one political side can say whatever the hell they want, and the other political side can't say anything because it gets censored, right? And sadly, what's happened is, in the last 15, 20 years, most mainstream media in the United States, at least, has been incredibly left-leaning liberal stuff. For example, the entire time that Trump is president, all you hear constantly in major media is Trump's bad, he did the wrong thing, everything's bad, everything's wrong. Then when Biden became president, you either heard everything was good or nothing at all. No criticisms of him or anything like that. He's good. He's the best president ever. Huh? How could that possibly be? It should be equal on both sides, correct? It should. It should be, hey, if you're going to be critical of one political thing, then you should be critical of the other thing too. It shouldn't just be one side gets a pass and the other, you know what I mean? And I think what's happened was, this has now been going for so long that now we're getting the backlash. So, this horrendous assassination of Charlie Kirk, public, in front of so many people, it happens, right? So now it's like, can you say anything? If you say something in a certain way, are you going to get canceled for saying it? What's allowed, what's not? What's considered morally acceptable within the realms of free speech and what isn't, right? I'm not the one to make that judgment. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I look at it and it's like, well, what did he say? I don't know what he said. I can't criticize if I don't actually know what Jimmy Kimmel said. To my knowledge, I don't think that he was saying horrendous stuff. But at the same time, if he was basically taking this opportunity to say something bad at a time when everyone was like devastated at what had happened, probably not good timing. I mean, he was off at the air for 2-3 days and he was right back on. So it's not like he was fired or anything. I don't know. There's not much I can really say because I don't know the situation. It also seems like this is one of these situations where you need like back history. And I don't know how much Kimmel has said about, Trump and MAGA or whatever. I don't know. I don't follow the politics shit. I don't. Like I told you guys, I don't want to be involved with this shit. For me, my content is supposed to be, I escape from all that shit and we all just have a good time with games together. So I don't know if there's like a track history of this and this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I can't really answer. Okay. Yenya did a $5 super chat and says, what do you think about the new Wolverine game coming out? I already talked about that. We reacted to the Wolverine trailer a few days ago on the Level 1 podcast on Friday. So if you want to see that reaction, go check out that podcast, the last episode that went up on Friday morning or Friday afternoon. You'll get your full answers. Thank you for the super chat. Big Boss did another $2 super chat. Think you'll reach the gold play button in 5 years? No, I'll never reach the gold play button. It's impossible. I am gaining subscribers at a rate of between 500 to 1,000 a month, and it depends on the month. If it's a month with a lot of bigger games and stuff like that, I'll have more. If it's a month that's more dead, I'll have less. But it's around 500 to 1,000 a month. So even if I have my absolute best, year ever, the most I'll get subs wise is 1,000 a month. So 12,000 a year. Just do the math. I'll die before I hit 1,000,000. So I'm never going to get a gold play button. It will never happen. This channel literally cannot grow because it's too old and doesn't show up in the YouTube algorithm the way other channels do. The way that YouTube is coded is that newer channels, fresher content that follows the algorithm, that stuff gets prominent push. This channel never will. I said this channel has actually been suppressed. This channel has videos that used to be videos that would get tens of thousands of views a month. Now they receive 0 because they do not show up in YouTube search at all, as if they don't exist. You have to specifically search for the name of the video to get it to show up. You see? So there's nothing I can do about it. The channel will never grow. Even if, look what happened with the Kino Casino collab, right? I mean, that was 3-4 months where I was getting massively increased people coming here. Did the channel blow up in subs? No. I received a few thousand extra subs on top of what I normally would get, and then it just leveled out. That's life. I've accepted that. My channel will never hit mainstream popularity. I'll never be a huge YouTuber. It just never will happen. But at the same time, because of that, I'm actually able to be different than the guys who become big, right? I can talk about whatever I want. Today, I just had this discussion about EA getting bought out by the Saudis. I can't get dropped by any sponsors. I don't have any sponsors. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to get a call from a talent agency that says, oh, you made a big mistake today. I can't. There's no one that could possibly drop me. See? Jasper Kitty. Hello. Yeah, he's purring. He's purring and he's rubbing. He's silly. Silly boy. Silly Jasper boy. Here we go. Okay. I have a tip I have to read out, so I have to put you on the floor. Here we go. Okay. Someone tipped $1.25, says, you said everyone has freedom of speech. Does that apply to the trolls? Well, do you see anyone getting arrested? I mean, literally every single day, there's people who are completely misrepresenting me, right? Taking me out of context, saying awful things about me that aren't true. Are they going to jail? Not to my knowledge, right? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much freedom of speech. That's what I'm saying. There's parts of the world, if you try to pull that shit, you go right to jail. You literally go to jail immediately. They don't put up with that shit. What's going on, Game Boy? How are you today? Welcome. All right. We still have some time, guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about, tag me in the chat. And again, I'll shout out any contributions. Thanks for the early support. We're at 39 out of the 150. Guys, let's be sure to hit the goal. Because the thing is, last night with that Chrono stream, we actually had a really good start, and then it just died right the hell out. Right in the middle, like, oh, man, we want to be sure to hit the goal today. Kratos fanboy, what's going on? How you doing? Is the DualSense's battery life an issue for me? I'm trying to remember how long it lasted. The thing is, I don't really play super extended, lengthy streams that it would die like that. You know what I mean? Like for example, the most recent time that a controller died for me, I was doing my first Mega Man marathon back in early September, first week of September. And no, excuse me, first week of August. It was because I did 2 in August. And I was using that Mashanike controller, and it had never died before, but I played for about 3, 4, 5 hours, and then it died. And I was like, oh, now I got to use the other controller, which I hadn't been planning on doing. The DualSense, I think it lasts about 4 hours, I would say. So that's about as much gaming as I would do during my longer gameplay stream. So I don't think it's ever run out. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's ever run out, but I think it's gotten close. I think we've had some situations where it would pop up and say, oh, battery low, but we haven't gotten that far. Any Nintendo games coming out in the near future I'm looking forward to play? Yeah, I just said Pokemon. Pokemon ZA, hopefully is great. Outside of that, the next one after that, I know there's that Kirby Star Riders, but I don't know if I'm going to play that one or not. But definitely Metroid Prime 4 is a huge, huge one, right? Finally, we'll be able to use the supposed mouse controls for aiming and see how those work. I'm going to use them right here on the table here and see how they are. So Agonito, I have a controller with Hall effect sensors. The Machinike has it, but sadly, the Machinike controller stopped working with half the games I'm playing on PC. Like it would have a malfunction where it just wouldn't work right. So I had to stop using it entirely. I haven't used it in months. I like it. I really liked that controller for the games it was working with. But the fact that it doesn't work with a lot of games is kind of frustrating. So I'd have to look for, you know, I'd have to look for another controller that maybe is more compatible with more stuff. Am I ever planning on doing gambling streams? No. I have no plans to do gambling streams. No. Wow, what a way to put it. Game Boy says, you said before that politics are like a pendulum and they swing back and forth between left and right views. Isn't it possible the pendulum could swing too far in one direction and break? Yeah, but if the pendulum broke, okay, I think it would be more like the whole political system broke. Because right now in the United States, we very much have a two-party system. As much as they want to say, oh, but you could have a third party. No, we have a two-party system. If you ain't Democrat and you ain't Republican, you ain't getting elected. It's that simple. So, if it were to swing one way the whole way, and break, I think what would happen is the system would break. And then we'd have a big sweeping change in the way our government works. I don't think that it would be like, oh, it's permanently stuck to that one side forever. I don't think that would happen. Big Boss did a $5 super chat. He says, if you went full drama rebrand, like Lal Cow or Kino Casino, and you stopped all restreaming channels, you think you could hit the gold play button? The first part I understand. I don't understand the second part. Stopped all restreaming channels. How exactly do you think that would ever happen? Right? The truth is, if you're going full drama, you want the restreaming channels because that's the content a lot of the times, right, that you're actually going to be discussing. Like if I were to do full drama today, right, first thing I would do is open up Review Tech stream, Kino Casino stream, Lol Cow stream, but then I would open up my own detractor stream to see what they're saying about me, to slam them and do drama with them. It's like it's like a rotating thing where they have to make the content, the drama content, okay, so that you have something to respond to. It's like an endless cycle of reacting. The reaction to 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 the reaction, right? That's what it's got to be. That's how it works. But I don't want to do that. It's garbage. What? Abdullah says, if you do a dance of Dr. Eggman, I don't know what that means, or something funny related to Dr. Eggman, or play with him in Sonic today, I'll tip $15. Didn't we already use Eggman? No, who did we use? No, we did use Eggman already. Yeah, I want to use different characters. I don't want to just keep using the same characters. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't go back to him, but today I definitely wanted to use different characters and not the same ones over and over. I don't know about an Eggman dance. I didn't see Sonic 3. I know there was like a dance in there that Jim Carrey did, but I never saw it. Garrett says, did you know Silent Hill F sold over 1 million copies? It's selling faster than Silent Hill 2 Remake. Yeah, but it's based off of pre-orders. The true sign of a successful video game these days is not the initial sale number. The initial sale number is literally based on pre-order hype. Okay? Silent Hill F had huge pre-order hype. It's the first Silent Hill game in 13 years, right? But the actual measure of a game's success is ongoing sales, right? Everyone runs to the movie theater to see the new movie that first weekend, but if the movie sucks, then it's no one else is going to go to see it, and it flops. It's the same thing with the game. Yes, initially there was probably a lot of buys, right? But now will the game continue to have legs, or is it now only the initial buys is all they're ever going to get because people don't like it? I don't know. So I don't care about initial sales. I care about after 2-3 weeks, a month, how many sales did it really have, and did it actually continue to be successful? That's what I care about. YouTube the dance? Well, if I can't, because I can't put the dance on the screen, I'll get copyright, right? Oh, I think that having Mega Man and Proto Man in Sonic Racing Crossroads would be pretty cool, especially if they have a Mega Man track. I think that'd be really dope to have like all the Mega Man characters and stuff on a track. See, Mega Man had a racing game. If you didn't know, Mega Man actually did have a racing game in the 90s, just like everybody else. Everyone had a racing game, and he had his own, but it didn't have much longevity. We don't talk about it today. Would I consider playing Soul Reaver 1 and 2? It's always a possibility. People brought it up when the collection came out. What was it, last year? We just haven't gotten around to it. Could be something to consider for the Halloween marathon, having you play like 30, 40 minutes of one of the Soul Reaver games if you nominate it. Could be a good time for that kind of a game. And then if it ends up being entertaining, keep going. Jasper, what are you doing? Hold on a second. Jasper he made a big noise in the hallway, but now he's in here. You okay, buddy? Yeah, he seems fine. Silly. Tried to grab something or something. I don't know. I don't know what Crimson Desert is. No, never heard of it. Did I like the Danganronpa franchise? Let me put it this way. All right. Danganronpa was very unique. It was like drama. It was very anime-ish. It had like horror elements. It had mystery, like detective elements. It really did feel like a very unique situation the first time I played the first one, right? The second one, I'll be honest, it was too much like the first. It was almost identical, right? I mean, yes, there was a few new elements, but it was almost the same game to that extent. And then Danganronpa 3, I kind of feel like it jumped the shark. Like it just went too far, and it kind of, maybe that's why there hasn't been another one, and why those game devs went on to make other games instead of more Danganronpa. But still, it's entertaining. It's got an interesting cast of characters. It's definitely for the visual novel crowd. It's pretty much up there with the highest quality stuff, I would think. I need to point to the screen. No, that's only if I'm summoning my AI to do the fake contributions, right? That's when I point to the screen. That weirdo fantasy belief that people have. Is that what you're saying? Should I go for it? Yes, I played original Tomb Raider. I owned it. I actually bought original Tomb Raider back in the day. Mega Man Battle and Chase. Ah, that's what it was called. All right. People are demanding it, so I'll do it because people want it. All right. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get that momentum going. We've got to hit $50 by the end of the marathon. By the end of the podcast. Therefore, let us get. Oh, I didn't even get it out. I'm sorry, guys. Just gifted a sub on Kick. Thank you to I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even get to do it. Look at that. My AI has become so intelligent, so hyper intelligent and sentient, self-sentient. It was able to predict accurately when I was going to ask for a contribution, and it gave the contribution before I asked. Look at that. All right, so thank you for the subs. So now we're up to 48. Perfect. Can I give you a Halloween costume hint? I didn't get my Halloween costume yet. How can I give you a hint for something I don't have? Like I said, my wife and I went to a Halloween store near us. We saw 3 different ideas for costumes that we liked. Okay, and I think any of the 3 would work. I'm just kind of debating which one to possibly go with. I'm not sure. And now, I think what's happened is now that I'm thinking about it more, there's one that my wife really wanted me to do, but the more I think about it, I'm thinking I can't do it for reasons, and you'll know the reasons later. So then that leaves 2. It kind of narrows it down to 2. And I'm thinking about both which one I would want to do. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. But all right. So anyway, basically I don't want to spoil anything, but there was 3 different things that were possibilities. What my wife and I are, as we continue to have days off, we're going to go out and look for more places, because this time we went to this one area, but we're going to go to other areas as well to look for like Halloween stores and see. And hey, we might just walk into a store and immediately see something amazing that blows us away and buy it on the spot. That hasn't happened yet. We're a Mortal Kombat themed costume, says Girl Set. Interesting. Yeah, let me put it this way. I would say, out of the 3 costumes, one of them is very pertinent to stuff going on. I'll say that. One of them is actually kind of a throwback, interesting, classic thing. And then one of them is just kind of silly. I'll say that. You'll never figure it out, though. Danzak did a $2 super chat and says, did you buy the 12-foot skeleton for outside? No, that's old. The 12-foot skeleton's like 3-4 years old. They sell it at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. It's this giant plastic skeleton. Wait a minute. What the hell? What is this King's tax of 83? That's not correct. It was supposed to be 48, so now we should be at 50. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, we're definitely at 50 now, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's old. That's old news. What are you talking about? Kratos Fanboy gifted a membership. That's our first membership of the day. Thank you, Kratos Fanboy. That gets us up to 53 of support now. Thank you so very much. Very nice. So now we got momentum. Let's keep going. Let's get to 100 before the podcast ends. Let's hit it. Such Mouse. Did a $2 super chat says, what's poppin' DSP? Well, Such Mouse, we're having a nice chill time here today. And what I mean by that is it's actually way more chill in the office than it's been. I'm not hot at all. It's actually nice and relaxing temperature in here. It's the fall now. The gaming season's in full effect. We got brand new games nonstop. It's good stuff going on right here on the channel. We're having a great time together. Thank you for the super chat. Excuse me. We're playing Silk Song tomorrow. We're playing Sonic today and Silk Song tomorrow, and that's not going to change. I did play Twisted Metal. I played Twisted Metal 1, 2, and 3 back in the day. Never owned one, but I rented them all. Yes, Comcast was able to do all those internet upgrades in one day. The internet lines went down around 6 a.m. and they went up around 7:38 p.m. So it took them over 12 hours, but supposedly they got all the stuff done in one day. Surprisingly, they haven't contacted me yet to upsell me on this. Because you know they're going to. You know in the next few months they're going to contact me and be like, hey, so now our speeds are better. Pay us more money for them. Which I'll look into. Like if the upload speeds have dramatically improved, I might consider it. Because that actually might make my gameplay of multiplayer games a lot better. So we'll see. But I got to see how much it costs and everything too. Man, time flies. I just realized it's been about a year since I bought all these ceiling fans, and I had the ceiling fan installed. It was like last year, like fall. Like, damn, it's been a year. Holy crap. Time really flies. I didn't even realize how much time had moved so quickly. And you see, so Kratos Fanboy says, would you ever do a costume with face paint? It might be uncomfortable for a marathon. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Whatever costume I wear, it has to work in certain ways. And this is actually what's limiting my selection. Like, my wife and I had a couple really good ideas, and then we started thinking, oh, wait a minute. Well, number one, it has to be a costume where if I wear it, you can still hear and see me for the marathon. It's a marathon of content. If I got a mask on that covers my head, that covers my mouth, how does that work for a marathon? It won't, right? It won't. Number two, I can't basically wear any hats. Why? Because when I do this, the AI, actually, you know what? Oh, shit, we should test this right now. Hold on. Ready? I want to do a test, okay? A live test of the newly improved AI background removal tool, because we haven't done this yet. Does the AI now properly take out certain things but leave in others? As you can see, it removes my chair now. But what about hats? Remember, this has always been a thing we wanted to test. The hat always got cut off. Let's do a test. This is an interesting live test. Hold on. So let's do a live test of several hats to see if any of these work or if the AI just deletes them all or glitches them all. Okay? So first off,
Spinning bird kick!
Danzak did another $2 super chat, and he says, are you nostalgic for anything? Yes. Okay, let's test some of these hats. First hat we'll test. How about the cowboy hat? Would the cowboy hat work or would it be deleted? Let's find out. Ready? My classic cowboy hat. It kind of works. If I'm staring straight at the camera, no, you see, as I turn my head, it deletes half of it. So that ain't gonna work. Man. Yeah, it deletes part of the hat no matter what. See that? Shucks. All right. Well, I'm glad that we're testing stuff. How about a Christmas festive hat? That works perfectly. Look at that. It actually works very well. Look at that. It's like if I turn my head a little bit, but as long as I kind of have it. Yeah, see? That it works. Oh, no, it deleted the pom-pom. No, my head. My head. If I put the pom-pom out front, it works. But if I put the pom-pom to the side, it deletes the pom-pom. Oh, man. Dang it, AI. You're ruining things, AI. All right, so forget that now. The true test, the one that everyone wants the answer to. You ready? The Sonic hat. Oh, it doesn't work at all. Look, it deletes the whole hat. Oh, man. It deletes all my spikes. It's like Sonic's been despined. Oh, man. Well, we tried. We tried and we failed. Very disappointing. Here's how it looks like without the background removal tool. Oh, man. Well, so basically what we're seeing here, sadly, I can't use hats at all because I'm going to be doing a marathon of gameplay, and anything that I have that has a hat, it won't work. It won't show up with the background removal tool. So I can't wear any costumes that use hats, sadly. What about this? Okay, here's another test. What about the Ryu headband? Give this a shot. I haven't worn this in a long time. The Ryu headband. Okay? Ready? The Ryu headband works. So some things work and some things don't. The Ryu headband works. Okay. Well, kind of. It's deleting. Look, it's disappearing a little bit, but for the most part, it is showing up. So it all depends on what it is, its shape. The AI doesn't know. The AI accounting for hats would be perfect once it could do that, because then I could wear whatever I want. But yeah, what are you going to do? Oh, well. Okay. Let's get all that back in the closet. All right, guys. So final moments of the podcast here. Jade says, can we play Vampire Bloodlines 2 or Alien Rogue Incursion soon? I'm not aware of either of those. What are those, Jade? What games are those? I've never heard of them. 6 Hybrid, that stuff doesn't even do anything. He says, the NVIDIA background removal tool in OBS has settings like threshold and contour, and it filters the properties. Yeah, I've tried them. They don't do anything. I'm serious. You go like all the way. Either basically it works or it doesn't work at all. I've messed with them and adjusted. It looks either full on works or you turned it off. They act like there's a tweak. There's no tweak. What it is the AI does what it wants, and the AI over time will get smarter. Like now the AI can actually remove your chair automatically. That's because they programmed it to do so. You know, they improved it. And it will get better over time. I bet in time they'll probably have things to do hats properly and all that. I almost guarantee it that they will improve the technology to get there. So we just got to be patient. It'll be fine. If there's an Alien game coming out, I'd be interested in it. Any last minute questions or support before we jump back into Sonic? Thank you for getting me at least to a third to my goal. Let's crush that goal today and hit it. We didn't do it last night. We want to do DSP tries it in the next few days. It'd be great, right? To do Indian food. So let's do it. I have not seen the new Superman movie yet. No, I have not. I still haven't watched it. Yes, we're playing Silk Song. Silk Song continues tomorrow. I've been playing Silk Song like every other day. It resumes tomorrow, and then I'll probably play it again on like Thursday-ish. But we'll see, because on Thursday there's new games that are coming out too, and I'm curious if you guys want to see me play a new game or not. But Silk Song is steadily in this rotation. If I could become an expert in any hobby, what would I choose? I don't know. What is that? Seriously, what would that be? Like, what hobby would you want to be an expert in? I don't know. I really have no clue. Like, what? Whittling. An expert whittler. I could grab any piece of wood and turn it into a masterpiece. There you go. Yenya just did a $5 super chat, says play silver. All right. So we got Vector and silver so far today that I'll use. Sounds like a plan. We're up to 62 of support. Thank you, guys. Do you think Virtua Fighter characters will show up in Sonic Racing? Oh, I don't know. Virtua Fighter? Maybe. They're not really that mainstream, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're going to try to put more mainstream characters in there. What country would I like to have a vacation in the future? My wife has always wanted to go to Japan, and I would like to do a trip there for tourism purposes. And Europe, like I would like to do a tour of Europe, maybe like England, France, Germany, Italy, something like that. And I know that they have trains and stuff that you could take across, so maybe I could do like spend 2 days in Great Britain, spend 2 days in France. That way, spend like 2 weeks over there, but spend a couple days in each country. I think that'd be cool. There's nothing to see in Europe. Oh, forget it then. If it's boring, I'm not going. Forget it. No, what I would want to do, I would not want to do tourist trap stuff. I would want to do stuff that's like lesser known, but is good stuff. Like, what's great food in each country? What's actually like beautiful countryside, but it's not a bunch of tourists standing around like assholes, right? Like, that's what I would want to see. I don't care about seeing the touristy stuff. Like, who gives a shit? Jade says he loves crocodiles and gators. What about me? Well, I mean, crocodiles and gators are basically like modern day dinosaurs, right? Like there are remnants of a past when we used to have giant lizards all over the place on the planet. It's pretty cool to think that they still exist in some capacity, right?
スピニングバードキック
Doing DSP trisits across Europe. I mean, I'll say this. I will say this. If I ever go on a vacation, a serious vacation, whether it's Japan, whether it's Europe, whatever, I will absolutely get equipment to film, and I will do a series of videos covering the trip, but I would not release them until I'm home because I would want to come home. I would want to edit them. I would want to, basically, I would want it to be good quality stuff, but also I'm not stupid and I'm not going to start telling everyone where I am when I'm there. And the next thing you know, you got people who are complete assholes trying to harass us on this trip. Because especially if we go on a Europe trip or a Japan trip, that's a huge life-changing thing. Like I've never done that before. And it's probably going to be a one-time deal where I'm never going back. So I want to make sure it's an amazing time for myself and my wife, not some idiots are trying to mess with it. But I probably would. I probably would go on a trip and then document stuff during the trip, and maybe we do DSP tries of different kinds of foods and stuff around the world, right? That'd be awesome, I think. Jasper, what are you doing down there? He's making all noise. All right, so Mr. Bun the Juice did 110 Turkish currency super chat. He says, I apologize. I didn't realize my country currency dipped so far. I'm asking what's your favorite beer brand. Mine is Augustiner Brau. In truth, I'm not a big beer guy. Why? Well, there's a couple reasons. But more notably, I feel like drinking beer bloats you. It's a lot of calories, right? A lot of calories that you don't really need. It's not that I don't like the flavor of beer. There are certain beers that I do like the flavor of. But I just don't want to drink it because it makes me feel like I'm putting too much excess, into my body that I don't want. Especially now when I'm starting to work out and get more healthy, I don't want to start drinking beer, right? But previously, I enjoyed. For a lighter beer, I always like Blue Moon because Blue Moon has that like citrusy air, like it smells like oranges. I really like that. For a thicker beer, Guinness. Guinness just has that nice flavor where it almost tastes like a milkshake. I really like that about Guinness. I used to drink various different Sam Adams back in the day. You know how they have the different seasonal ones and stuff like that, like Oktoberfest and stuff. I drink that. Recently I had a taste test, a flight of beers taste test for DSP Tries It, and I liked the German one the most. The German beer was like absolutely great, delicious. So I don't remember what it was. I think there are hoverboards in Sonic Cross Worlds. Yes, I think there are. I don't know how you use them though. I have to look that up. I don't know if we've seen them yet, but yeah, there are in there. Was it forced? That doesn't ring a bell. No, I have some in my garage. I could look it up later. I have some in my garage because I saved some of it. Mortal Kombat Deception. Yeah, sadly, this upcoming Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection only has Mortal Kombat 1 through 4. That's it. It does have, I think, a version of Deception, but I think that's the one that it's like the Game Boy version or something. It's gonna be ass. So maybe one day they'll actually release a collection of the further games. I never played any of them. I only played Mortal Kombat 1 through 4, and then I played 9. I never played any of the ones in the middle there. No, I've actually never tried Modelo beer. I know of it. I've seen it everywhere, but I've never tried it. No, carbonated coffee? No, I've never had carbonated coffee. I didn't even know they had carbonated coffee. That exists? No, I didn't even know that there was a Steam Autumn sale. I haven't been following that. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up. This podcast went long. Dang. Yeah, let's wrap it up so we can start with Sonic, okay? Thank you for the early support. I appreciate it. And thanks for the chill vibes and the good audience here. and the interaction. So there's no podcast tomorrow. It's another Silk Song major stream. We will return on Wednesday. We'll recap where we are. Maybe on Wednesday, we'll actually determine exactly what we're going to be doing for like Thursday's gameplay so we can lock it in. Everyone knows what we're doing. You know, are we doing Ghost of Yote? Are we doing Galaxy 2? Are we doing something different? We can figure it out. Okay? Awesome. Thank you guys for a great show. I hope that you enjoyed. Please have a safe and fun day. I'll see you all on Wednesday on the show. And of course, please check out all my gameplay here on DSP Gaming. In the meantime, lots of great playthroughs and stuff going on. See you then. Peace out.